wonderful night for some football.
Joey Logano steps into history.
Scotty Scheffler takes it all.
A lot of stars for you on Sunday Night Football.
Sunday Night Football's in Seattle, and we got a couple of NFC playoff contenders. Geno Smith and the Seahawks have won 4 straight, and they lead the NFC West. But tonight, they've got a little bit of a job to do. They're hosting Jordan Love and the Packers, who are in good shape to take a wild card spot. What's up, everyone? I'm Maria Taylor, and plenty more to come on tonight's game, but it may be the biggest window of football all year, the 425 game. 5 of them still live as we speak, and huge playoff implications across the league. But you don't need to change the channel. We got you covered right here. So let's get you caught up. Let's start with the Bills on the road, taking on the Lions. They've already locked up the AFC East, and they are dominating in Detroit, Sim.
They are dominating right now. Khalil Shakir, a little shovel pass right off of Amon-Ra St. Brown fumble. The series before Detroit, Buffalo goes up 35-14. But we know the Lions and Dan Campbell are not going to give up. Jared Goff, big in cut, 3rd and 17. The ball gets tipped. Amon-Ra St. Brown still catches it. Touchdown, 35-21. The Bills just scored a field goal. It's 38-21 now, Maria.
And we have the Pennsylvania Bowl, or Pennsylvania State Championship game. Devin, it is Philly, it is Pittsburgh.
And right now, Philly is controlling a little tush-push. Najee Harris dropped the toss. Philly capitalizing with a touchdown, 27-13.
And Jason, right now, the Tampa Bay Bucks looking super at home in L.A. Mike Evans over 150 yards so far in this game.
Yeah, Chargers were up early, but all Tampa Bay lately, 24 straight points, having a hard time scoring in the red zone. Just throw it deep to that guy. They just got another one, 24 straight. They're up 37-17.
Evans already a career high in receiving. And Chris, the game that could cause the biggest swing in playoff landscape, the Colts and the Broncos, a big swing on this play.
Yep, trick play here. The Colts have really been controlling the game. Denver's defense made some big plays on this little throwback to the quarterback. Nick Bonito picks it off, pick 6, 24-13 Broncos.
And the Cardinals in the NFC, they're hanging on to their playoff hopes against the New England Patriots.
Right now, keep the dream alive. Connor has been killing the Patriots, over 140 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns as the Cardinals dominate Arizona.
All right, alongside Devin McCourty and Jason Garrett, I'm still hanging out with you. As you can see, we have to take a deep breath because all of these games are live and we're enjoying them. But as you guys are taking them in, what's standing out to you most?
It's Pittsburgh. You're watching Pittsburgh and Philadelphia go on right now. And Philadelphia is controlling this game. Defensively, shutting things down, and offensively, whether it's throwing the ball early to A.J. Brown like they did, or Jalen Hurts just making plays and finding Devontae Smith fully in control of this game right now.
Well, how about the Battle of Lake Erie? Josh Allen and the Bills going to Motown and just getting after the Lions. 35 points, over 500 yards through 3 quarters. Detroit trying to make a comeback. They're trying to bite on some kneecaps. I don't think it's going to happen.
Josh Allen's in rhythm, making the Lions sing the blues. You see what we did there. And Lamar Jackson already had a huge day today in that 1 o'clock window. Chris Sims, he's one of your Week 15 headliners?
That's right. He's got to be. Back in the big city, the Big Apple. Yeah, Lamarvelous. That's what he was coming into New York City today. And yes, it's not a very good Giants defense. We know that. But Lamar Jackson threw the ball today as well as I've ever seen him throw the football. Look at the location. Look at some of the spirals on the football. Look at the ease in which he makes this throw here. Off his back foot, flick of the wrist, 40 yards, no big problem. He was on point throughout the day. 5 touchdown passes. The Ravens rolling on offense today. Now, let's go down to Houston. Big game, right? Houston Texans, Miami Dolphins. Yeah, there was some sting in the air. In fact, it was Derek Stingley. Had 2 picks late in the football game. You saw that one there down close to the end zone. Here, an underthrown football to Tyreek Hill deep down the football field. Houston Texans defense was huge today, coming up with 5 turnovers, 4 interceptions, a forced fumble as well. Big win by them. And here's my question to you guys. The Miami Dolphins are very good. Their highest paid player is their quarterback, and he's also the biggest concern we have in every big football game. And that doesn't match up, in my opinion. And I just wonder where that goes for them.
Well, Tua's got to own it. He hasn't played well in these big games. Right. We all know that. But to me, it's more about their entire team, their style of play. It's great when they're down there. You know, greatest show on turf down there in Miami. When they travel, when they go to tough environments and cold weather, they have a hard time as a team.
Each week we say certain teams are built to travel and play in the playoffs. This team isn't, and that's why they're not really considered a contender. Even if Tua was healthy all year, we've all said we don't really believe Miami's a team that can go win a Super Bowl.
Well, right now Miami's playoff playoff hopes all but dashed, but a lot of that depends on what's happening right now in Denver. We'll keep you up to date on that game. And as we send it out to Seattle, we have a very special person who's out there. Rodney Harrison is the birthday boy. Erica sent this picture and wanted to wish him the happiest birthday. They wish they could be here, but wifey and kids say they love you, Rodney, and they hope you're having a great day.
Happy birthday, Rod.
How about our guy?
Yeah, happy birthday, Rod. You look great for 60.
Happy birthday, buddy.
Appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Happy birthday.
Oh, only 50, right?
You know, we're used to seeing Pete Carroll, right? Pete Carroll, 14-year run out here with Seattle, coach. But Mike McDonald, this has been one smooth transition stepping in.
I had the chance to talk to some players, and they told me they love this guy because he came in, he was straightforward, he was honest, but he was also very open-minded to what they needed and what they want. But I had a coach tell me, too, he gained instant respect, coach, coming in as a 37-year-old, 36-year-old, because he knew offense, he knew defense, and he knew the special teams.
And these players love playing for him here in Seattle.
Yeah, went from the oldest coach to the youngest coach. Coach, what's the most important thing you're watching tonight?
I think it's going to be the two quarterbacks, Jordan Love, Geno Smith. They're talented. They've got tremendous receiving cores, but these secondaries, Rodney, they're ball hawkers. These quarterbacks have to take care of the ball tonight.
Absolutely. And I look at Green Bay. They've got some injuries in the secondary. Be concerned about Geno Smith.
Yeah. Coach, this week, 15, 4 p.m. slate, have we seen anything better than this? These games, we've been tracking them all day long. Your Colts were in fine position, although it's getting a little slippery for them. Now down 24-13, the Buffalo Bills.
I see you, Buffalo.
Care of those lines. We're tracking all these games as we count you down to kickoff in Seattle.
Games in the late window, and we're getting you set for Sunday Night Football. Look, Tony Dungy hanging out with Geno Smith, and guess what? He's going to have an interview a little bit later in the show with them. Let's get caught up with how the Buffalo Bills are just tightening their grip right now.
It's been
Detroit.
a fun game. Buffalo is controlling the second half here, but we know Detroit never says die. Little short pass here by Jared Goff to Jahmyr Gibbs, touchdown. So that makes it 38-28. Now Detroit decides to kick an onside kick. Why? There's 12 minutes left. You have 3 timeouts. Matt Collins gets it. He returns it inside the 5-yard line. Josh Allen just threw a pass to Ryan Davis. Touchdown. It's 44-28. And here you're going to see it right here in front of us. A little play action out in the flat. And let me just say, Josh Allen is absolutely amazing. Let me just tell you that one more time.
I agree, Sim.
You agree?
I agree. Unreal.
All right, and now we got the Steelers-Eagles going on, Maria, over here. T.J. Watt a little banged up with a leg injury or something here coming around the edge. Philly clearly in control of this football game. They're about to kick a field goal to go up 3 scores, Maria.
All right, we will make sure that we get updates on T.J. Watt. We do have a final score in Arizona. The Cardinals walk away with that victory. But a lot of big news coming out in the coaching world this week, and it was Bill Belichick made it official. He's going to be a UNC Tar Heel, the head coach. His dad was an assistant coach there. But let's talk pros and cons and what you see working well for Bill in Chapel Hill.
Yeah, Chapel Hill Bill. Everyone's talking about how's he going to go in and recruit high school kids. I don't think that'll be his main thing. It'll be those 20, 21-year-olds. He'll say, hey, you got 1 year left, maybe 2. Come here. I'll make you a pro. Now,
Give us the invitation, though.
It's going to be... I'm just telling you, you got 1 more year. You come here, you'll be a pro. And then on the other side of it, the day-to-day, he's dealing with kids now. When I was in New England, if you came late, they sent you home for the day and they fined you. That's going to happen all the time in college. He's going to have to deal with it, understand how to meet the players where they are. But he's a guy that can adjust, and he knows how to build a team.
And it's his plan to bring the pro model into college football as it's changing right now in this change era in college football. Marcus Freeman did say today that Bill Belichick's hire is tremendous for the game of football. And speaking of Notre Dame, their head coach has agreed to the school and a long-term extension that makes him among the highest paid coaches in the country. And Jason, you spent a lot of time with that guy, Marcus Freeman, covering his games. Why do you think Notre Dame made the decision to extend his contract?
Well, first off, they got it right. I don't like Marcus Freeman. I love Marcus Freeman. I think this guy is fantastic, incredible leader for that program. 30 wins in his first 3 years. He's a young coach, connects with the players, but it's an old school program. He's getting the most out of them on the field and off the field. The job he did leading that program after they lost to Northern Illinois in week 2 and what they've done since then to position themselves, off the charts.
Well, just so you know, that guy and Notre Dame Fighting Irish, they're still playing. They are going to host Indiana on Friday in the college football playoff. And actually, you can get a behind-the-scenes 13's look at Notre Dame's season on and off the field. With the Peacock original series, Here Come the Irish. New episodes are streaming only on Peacock, with more coming out this Thursday. And coming up right here on Football Night in America, we're going to learn a little bit about Mike McDonald, okay? What you need to know is we're from the same city, went to the same high school, and we had a lot of fun in Seattle.
A lot of motion, a lot of eye candy.
This is Football Night in America, served by Applebee's.
What makes the perfect pairing? Take two flavors and blend both on and off the field.
Josh Jacobs in beast mode. Charbonnet has a first down and then some.
Swiss cheese, savory and a little nutty at room temperature, or a frigid Wisconsin night.
Josh Jacobs would not be denied.
Served with a versatile, smooth glass of Chardonnay, harvested from the crisp Pacific Northwest.
Charbonnet wheels out of the backfield.
Fine wine and cheeseheads, the perfect pairing.
It is a classic combo on Sunday night, but these runners, Coach, a long way from wine and cheese. Zach Charbonnet, fresh off the best game of his career against Arizona, while Josh Jacobs, his 4,000-yard season. He scored 8 touchdowns these last 4 weeks alone, Roddy. He was the key signing this offseason. He's lived up to it.
Yeah, if you're Coach LaFleur, don't make it more difficult. Run the football. And this is the reason you go out and you get a guy like Josh Jacobs, because it's December, on the road, in a playoff atmosphere. Run the football, Coach.
Yeah, he gives you attitude, and I think it's especially important tonight. You're going to be dealing with this crowd noise. What's the best way to calm them down? Run the football.
Coach Charbonnet, he has really flashed as well when he stepped in for Kenneth Walker. There hasn't been much of a dip in that offense.
No, he has played well for him and given him that balance. Geno Smith can throw the ball. They've got great receivers, but when they're balanced, Rod, that offense is exciting.
Yeah, Geno Smith told me that Charbonnet could be a starter in this league. He does a great job in pass protection. They trust him catching the ball out of the backfield. Of course, he can run between the tackles.
And Rod, you were talking about Josh Jacobs. You look at the top 3 running backs, Saquon Barkley, Derrick Henry, Josh Jacobs. They're all on new teams this year, and they're proving the value of that position beyond the rookie deal. So it's good to see for that running back position.
I love running backs.
As a whole.
Especially good ones like that.
That's right.
All right, we've got 4 games still rocking and rolling. We just watched Bo Nix throw a touchdown pass to Cortland Sutton. We're keeping an eye on all of these matchups, and of course, we're going to give you highlights as soon as they all go final. Coming up next.
Touchdown, Washington! Unbelievable catch by McLaurin!
Hayes and Lamar, and the Ravens have knocked out the Giants.
Got the dub, first touchdown. Appreciate all the fans. Love.
Stingley's second pick seals the deal.
Man, that's probably the best play I've ever seen.
Yeah, big numbers on the scoreboard.
Rewarding performance. To you by Capital One. Football Night in America is brought to you by Applebee's, the official grill and bar sponsor of the NFL. And by Allstate, you're in good hands.
Okay, a lot of drama between the Packers and the Seahawks. That fake field goal started Seattle's comeback in the 2014 NFC Championship game. We remember this one? They were down 5 with just over 2 minutes left. Seahawks recovered the onside kick and went to overtime. Russell Wilson goes deep to Jermaine Kearse for the win. Seattle would lose the Super Bowl, though. All right, guys, let's get up to date on the game. Still rocking and rolling. Chris Sims, what's going on in Detroit?
It's not over yet. It's now going to be 45-35. The Buffalo Bills in the lead. Jahmyr Gibbs, 1-yard touchdown run, 11-play, 70-yard drive by the Detroit Lions. The Denver Broncos, on the other hand, ever since Jonathan Taylor dropped the ball going into the end zone, it's 21 unanswered points by the Denver Broncos. Bo Nix, Cortland Sutton, touchdown. That's about all she wrote there in Denver. They're up 31-13, Maria.
All right, keeping an eye on that one and all the games. Only one final at this point, and it's the Arizona Cardinals getting a win against the Patriots. Back to the highlights we go. The Ravens, the Giants, this game starting at 1 p.m., and it was the Lamar Jackson show.
more Lamar Jackson. Finding Mark Andrews, big play right there. Mark Andrews sets a franchise record, 48 career touchdowns. That just means he's been doing it for a long time.
Just doing it a long time, and been pretty good at it, by the way. The Ravens coming off a bye. They absolutely look fresh. 2 touchdowns to Rashad Bateman in this one.
Lamar Jackson said, hold on, Bateman. But then Bateman said, oh, this is going to be on the film room tomorrow. You can't touch me. Rashad Bateman, DBs, just tackle.
And how about this for your first target, your first catch? It's a touchdown, Devin.
Kez Walker coming in. Big day for North Carolina everywhere. UNC graduate right there. Touchdown, first one. Nice play right there.
And then Lamar's like, okay, I got one more in me, this time to Justice Hill.
This was the easiest one. Giants decided not to cover Justice Hill. Lamar said, let me make an easy throw right there. He did the rest.
Lamar Jackson threw more touchdowns than incompletions. Giants fans bags over their heads because look at the day that he had. 21 for 25, 290 yards, his 6th career game with 5+ touchdowns passing and 0 interceptions. Only Drew Brees and Tom Brady have more such games, and they both had 8. The Kansas City Chiefs taking on the Browns. Patrick Mahomes. Listen, the heart attack Chiefs, they've been at it all season long. This one, no, not so much. They ran this game.
Yeah, not a nail-biter today. The big story for me, though, was the protection by Kansas City. Joe Tooney plays left tackle. Mahomes has all day finding Noah Gray.
And this time he's going to swing it to the rookie, Xavier Worthy, who does the rest.
He's the fastest guy in their team. Get him the ball out in space. Receivers blocking for receivers. The Chiefs were rolling.
Yeah, now Patrick Mahomes left the game in the 4th quarter. We'll get an update a little bit later on that. Jameis Winston, though, boom or bust, this time bust.
Yeah, a lot of busts here today. Cleveland turns it over 6 times. This is Jameis' 3rd interception. This Chiefs defense showing up again.
Yeah, the Chiefs had 6 takeaways today. They came into the game with 10 on the season. Very impressive. And Mike Florio, I promised you the update on Patrick Mahomes. What is the latest on the Chiefs?
Yeah, Maria, it happened in the 4th quarter on a 4th and 3 play. I'm told it's a high ankle sprain for Patrick Mahomes. X-rays were negative, which obviously is a positive. I'm told he could have gone back into play if the game had been closer. The Chiefs believe they dodged a bullet, but the concern is Monday morning when he rolls out of bed, how swollen will that ankle be? So they're going to monitor him very carefully. They have 2 games coming up in the next week and a half. Saturday at home against the Texans, and the following Wednesday, Christmas Day, at Pittsburgh.
All right, well, that was a PFT update brought to you by Accenture. Jason, let's just start right there with Patrick Mahomes. We know he's the guy that makes this entire team go, and what an injury could mean on a short week.
Well, let's start with this. Line 1 with Patrick Mahomes, for me, mental and physical toughness. We've seen this throughout his career. The guy plays through these injuries. He plays big in the big moments. Mobility is important for him. Certainly this year, they're not blocking people real well up front. He needs to be able to extend plays. And like Mike said, a lot of football here in the next week and a half against some good defenses.
And he did that a lot today in the past few games, moving up, moving around the pocket. So if he doesn't have that mobility, it's going to be hard. But I want to give a shout out to their defense. Sure. They lose Kamari Connor. Another corner goes down. They step up. You said it. 6 takeaways, 5 sacks. They got after Jameis Winston. And before the game, we said it. Cleveland's the type of team, if Jameis Winston gets going, you could be in for a long day, or it can be turnovers, and they chose turnovers today.
The Chiefs are now 13-1 for the 2nd time in franchise history. They just keep winning ball games. All right, it's time now for tonight's DraftKings Sportsbook 3 play, and for that, we say good evening to Matthew Berry.
Yeah, Maria, I'm going to start with the focal point of the Packers offense, Josh Jacobs. Now, we know he's been extremely productive as a rusher, but I'm actually taking the over on his receiving line tonight. I expect Seattle to be able to generate pressure, leading to some dump-offs to Jacobs. Get this. Over the last 4 weeks, Seattle is allowing over 40 receiving yards per game to running backs. They've actually allowed a running back to go over this number in 7 straight games. So, yeah, I'm taking the over on 13.5 receiving yards for Josh Jacobs. Let's move over to Seattle's side of the ball. And I love how Jackson Smith-Njigba is playing this year. I think he keeps it going this season. We've seen JSN take over as Seattle's top receiver. He should have another strong performance tonight. He's going against the Packers defense that entered the week, allowing the 7th most receptions to the slot. And that is obviously where JSN runs the majority of his routes. Smith-Njigba has had at least 69 yards receiving in each of his past 6 games. So I'm taking an alt line here of 50 or more yards. I think he gets there easy. Finally, I'm going with an alt total of under 51.5 on the road. We know the Packers want to run the ball, grind the clock. Seattle's defense playing really well right now. I don't see this turning into a shootout. So I'll take the under on 51.5.
All right, Geno Smith, the lead quarterback of the team that's leading the NFC West. We'll see what he has against the Packers here tonight on Sunday Night Football.
right, here we go, boys. Here we go.
That's the way to start.
Let's go, East.
Hey guys, what's going on?
It is time for Pick 6 and Win.
He's going to the house. Whoa.
Let's enjoy the show.
Holy smokes, are you kidding? Touchdown!
This is Football Night in America, served by Applebee's.
Jordan Love finally getting his legs back underneath him after knee and groin injuries. Seemed like he's getting healthy right on time, and last January proved this offense could go on a run, while a 34-year-old Geno Smith, he trails only Joe Burrow in pass yards, and he has the Seahawks leading the West, even though he's been the most pressured quarterback in the NFL, Rod. So how can Green Bay take advantage of that?
Well, the matchup that I'm looking at is Abraham Lucas, the tackle, versus Rashawn Gary.
Oh, yeah.
He's their best pass rusher. He's the guy. He has to win that matchup. And, Coach, I don't anticipate him being a lot of one-on-ones. They're going to have to chip, double-team him, and take him out the game.
Yeah, and the Packers are going to need that pass rush from Gary because Jair Alexander, their best corner for the fourth week in a row, is not playing. And this Seahawks receiving core, we're going to put some stress on the Packers.
And the
DK
Packers...
Metcalf,
Go ahead. DK Metcalf.
Smith and Jigba, as Matthew said, working in the slot, man, they are fantastic.
And the Green Bay Packers defensively, they have to be able to get pressure on the quarterback with their front four. They've had some injuries in the secondary. They can't afford to bring that safety up. They got to keep them back, Coach, with all these weapons they have.
Coach, on his birthday, I had to let him get one more word.
There you go, absolutely.
As we sitting back here,
I'm sorry.
Taylor, go ahead, Bria.
The birthday boy can have whatever he wants, okay, tonight. Meanwhile, the Cardinals 2 games back of Seattle in the NFC West. Kyler Murray and the gang, a little bit of work to do. To the first quarter we go. James Conner says, I'll do some work.
Just love Arizona's balanced attack all day long. Connor made some dirty runs early. He made some big ones as the game went on.
Okay, so it's going to set up Greg Dortch on a jet sweep, but he's going to fumble. But then an offensive tackle, Jonah Williams is going to recover it. So many things happen in this play, Jason.
This is why you run to the football, Marine. You stay with it. Jonah Williams, not only does he recover it, he gets himself down, scores the touchdown. A huge play for Arizona. New England went 0 on third down all day long. Team win for the Cards.
So that snaps a 3-game losing streak for Arizona. Still 2 games behind for that final wild card spot. Jaden Daniels back in Louisiana.
Back in Louisiana.
LSU,
won the Heisman there last year, right? Well, he's still awesome. Let me just tell you that. No matter what state he's in, he's awesome. And this right here, is this a receiver, a quarterback? What? Slips, regains his balance. That's shades of old Randall Cunningham. He's a back in the day. And then to throw the ball like that, again, Jaden Daniels had a phenomenal day. He just continues to impress.
I'm not sure anyone's having more fun than him, and then he's going to find Scary Terry yet again.
Yes, well, you know, it's easy to have fun when you're awesome. When you're awesome, you can have fun out there and have lots of smiles, and he's awesome.
First Washington player with 10-plus receiving touchdowns since Jordan Reed. He had 11 in 2015, so Scary Terry's rolling.
Yep.
Okay, so we're going to see Spencer Rattler for the Saints.
That's right. Jake Hayner out, Spencer Rattler in, but they're not going to let him throw the ball. They're going to throw it to the receiver, and then Alvin Kamara. Unbelievable one-handed catch, controlling the ball. Too bad Kamara got hurt a little bit after that.
Yeah, and how about this? Commanders missing a field goal right here. That is no good.
Ooh,
I know. Okay, so the Saints are still in this one.
They got a chance, and here Spencer Rattler played very well, calling it late here, but now here's a late completion, 4th and 3. Here's the clock. First off, you're going to see the referee signals stoppage of clock, which should not happen. This is not college. This is the NFL. The clock should keep rolling, and that allows a few extra seconds here for the Saints, again, to one last play.
Yeah, but it's not reviewable. That clock is not reviewable, so they still have those 3 seconds to get this play off. Rattler gets it to Foster Moreau. Touchdown.
What you gonna do, Sam?
Go for 2, baby. It's Riz. Riz is crazy, and he's from Jersey. We know he's going for 2.
Do you like the play?
Right. I do like the play. There's a guy wide open in the back of the end zone, and what you would have saw it. Remember Dwight Clark, Joe Montana? That was it right there. The catch. That's right.
Oh, well, the Washington Commanders walk away with the 1-point victory from New Orleans. Time for the Lowe's home team help. Let's talk a little bit more about Jaden's day. Sacked 8 times, but led the team in rushing. He has 6 total touchdowns, 1 interceptions during the 2-game win streak for the Commanders.
Playing quarterback in the NFL is hard. This guy's a rookie. He walks in here, oh my God almighty, he makes it look easy every week. The poise that he has on top of all the athletic ability, his ability to throw it all over the place, the accuracy. He's unbelievable
He should have been sacked 15 times today. That's the point. He got out of 7 of them.
Okay, guys, listen. Steve Kornacki is here. Let's let him walk us through the NFC playoff probability picture.
Hey, Maria, let's take a look here at the wild card situation in the NFC. Here's the important dividing line right now. In the playoffs right now, out of the playoffs. Now, look, the Packers tonight sitting in that number 6 seed. If they can go into Seattle and win this game, they're going to virtually lock up a playoff spot if they can win tonight. Washington, wow, did they dodge a bullet with that 2-point conversion failing at the end there against the Saints. Washington right now still here, probability-wise, an 87% shot to get into the playoffs. For the Rams on the outside looking in, they are a game behind. They're very much in the hunt. The problem for the Rams, they lose a tiebreaker to Washington. They lose a tiebreaker to the Packers. So for Rams fans, yes, you're in the wild card hunt, but maybe you're more interested in what could be behind door number 2, and that would be the NFC West race here. Now, again, Seahawks-Packers tonight, our game. If the Seahawks win, they stay in first place. They have a game on the Rams, 62% chance to win the division, get that home game in the playoffs. Rams, though, if Seattle loses tonight, the Rams, on a tiebreaker, will be in first place in the division, will have a better than 50% chance of winning the division, and getting that home game in Seattle would fall all the way out of the wild card in the playoffs if they lose tonight. Huge stakes, and remember, Week 18, these two teams will play each other.
Ooh, that's why Steve Kornacki is here. No one breaks it down better than he does. Okay, we have a final with the Broncos getting a victory, which also means that the Texans clinched the AFC South. We're going to tell you exactly what happened there. And then we talk about the Pennsylvania Bowl, the state championship game, and the way Josh Allen is rolling in Detroit. And
a bad man.
Hey, listen, Lions got a chance. We'll keep you up to date.
Welcome to the Hyundai Sunday Night Kickoff.
So Seattle, they're the only fan base to have their number retired. The 12s, they have earned it, Coach. On this day 40 years ago inside the old King Dome, the Seahawks, they retired the number 12 to honor some of the loudest in the business, and they deserve it. We're on the field presented by Hyundai, and the Packers, they have not won on this field in 16 years. So, Coach Dungy, how do you prepare for a crowd like this?
Well, I talked to Jordan Love and I talked to the Packers coaches, and most people tell you, oh, we don't do anything different. They did. They practiced twice inside so they could pump up the music. Jordan said they're going on silent counts, and he wants to find out how loud it is. He said he's never played here. Well, he's going to find out tonight.
And that Seattle secondary, they feed off that crowd noise. They've had your attention all year.
Look, this is the most talented secondary in National Football League. When you start looking at Witherspoon, his ability to play outside and inside, Reek Woolen, who's just an absolute freak, and Julian Love has been outstanding this year, Jack.
And you know who's helped that secondary? Leonard Williams. They told me he is balling out for them. He's been a big force up front for the Seahawks.
And we got a little update going on with this Bills game right now as well, as we send it back in to Maria Taylor. What's happening?
All right, appreciate it, Jack. Yeah, listen, Mike McDonald, the Seattle Seahawks first-year head coach, trying to guide his squad to the playoffs. But if you didn't know it, I got something in common with him. We actually went to Centennial High School in Roswell, Georgia together. Go Knights. And this week we met up to take a little trip down memory lane.
You owe me.
Oh, my God. Oh, good to see you.
Welcome to your reunion. I don't know if you had ever been to one. So I created one. See? I brought Centennial to Seattle.
Wow, you sure did. Maria was way cooler than I was. Just an absolute champion. Look at it, most athletic.
Where's your most athletic?
Okay, not on here.
Not on here. Do you remember your dream goal?
It was the GM of the Red Sox.
Yes. I baseball then.
Well, I was better at baseball.
My favorite part about Centennial baseball is the team.
The team.
Exactly.
I had the glasses, the Harry Potter thing going on. The orange shirt is an ambitious move.
Actually, do this. In 10 years, I predict that I will be your first female president.
I mean, you're kind of close.
There's still a chance.
I mean,
I can still
it's
do
still
it.
alive,
it's
you
still
know?
alive.
That's awesome.
Playoff football, December
physicality, focus, togetherness.
When did the dream start to shift into maybe I have a future in football?
I just had this interest in coaching, and I didn't really know where it would lead to or whatever. At some point, you had to make a decision. Hey, do I want to pursue this? And I have a passion here. Like, I'm just going to go for it. And I love this thing too much, and that's kind of when it all started.
I can't believe it started at Cedar Shoals High School in Athens, Georgia. Wow.
Let it rip, man. Be you. Go, baby. Let's be great.
What is one of the principles that comes to head when you're thinking about when I become a head coach, this is what I want to take with me?
You got to have your players' backs. You can't fake that.
You said it was a leap of faith. Where's the faith gotten you?
Well, I mean, here we are celebrating Centennial on the West Coast. I think once I got to Michigan, I started to realize, hey, maybe I want to be a head coach one day.
That's the first time it hit you?
Yeah, up to that point, I just wanted to call plays, drop pressures and stuff.
Here we go. Got game scenarios.
I'm a football nerd to a certain extent.
It's so freaking exciting.
I have a pretty unique sense of humor, which people are starting to understand around here. I quote a ton of movies that nobody has any idea what's going on.
What are the top movies that we're quoting?
Well, the prerequisite is to be like a Jim Carrey movie from like the mid-90s.
I'm ready to go in, coach. Just give me a chance.
Ace Ventura, Dumb and Dumber.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Tell them the truth, but tell them with love.
Yeah!
Hopefully they respect that.
Oh, yeah, I just want to take a picture.
Oh, my God.
What an incredible time with Mike McDonald. He's amazing, truly humble, guys. And he also had his son, his first child, on December 3rd. First time head coach, first time father, and the way that he's handling things in Seattle is certainly impressive.
Most likely to succeed, Maria Taylor or Mike McDonald?
We would have both taken him, but we were separate years. I was 05, he was 06, so we both got the award.
I just want to know what's in the water down there in Centennial. For crying out loud.
Something Devin needs to drink. We got an update in Detroit right now, Chris, of what's going on at the end of this.
We did. Detroit went down the field. They're going to score Jamison Williams. You're going to see here in the back of the end zone the connection with Jared Goff. He puts it on the money. It's 48-42, extra point pending, 12 seconds. They're going to have to kick the onside and make a miracle, Maria.
All right, this game's still live right now on CBS. We'll keep you updated, and we will have the highlights. Just looking at the highlights from this one, the Buccaneers, the Chargers, and Judge Judy.
Judge Judy, let's go.
Really big fan of Judge Judy, in case you didn't know, all right? To the second half we go. Baker Mayfield got hot with his buddy Mike Evans.
Yeah, Chargers dominated this game early, but in the second half, Tampa outscores the Chargers 27-0, and Baker Mayfield to Mike Evans, that was the combination.
Yeah, 57 yards for that touchdown. And then later on in this one, you see Justin Herbert heaving, this ball intercepted.
Yeah, pressure, more pressure right in Justin Herbert's face. He throws it up. Dean makes the pick.
That snapped a streak of 357 consecutive passes without an interception. Then Mayfield stepping up to Evans again.
This is what we call a walk it to him. If you were to walk the ball out there, you'd place it right there in that front number. Mayfield to Evans, they were on fire.
Yeah, so the Bucs win their fourth straight, hold a 1.5 game lead in the NFC South, thanks to that statement game right there from Baker Mayfield, shaking and baking, to his buddy Mike Evans, who had a season high and receiving yards with 159. Miami Dolphins taking on the Texans. D'Amico Ryans, Houston, they could clinch the AFC South with a win and a Colts loss. To the third quarter, we go. Fake punt, huge play in this game.
Might have been the play of the day. Fake punt, what a call by D'Amico Ryans. The Texans pull it off, get inside the 10-yard line here. And you can see they're up 13-6 at this point, and this is going to give them a chance to go up 2 scores.
Yeah, Chris, this really jump-started the offense.
Definitely did. It was not a great offensive showing by Miami or Houston. The defenses were the star of the day here, but C.J. Stroud, Nico Collins, they connected twice for touchdown passes on the day. Yeah, he's happy to have his friend back.
Yeah, okay, later in the third, we go Dolphins right now, down 14, going for it on 4th and 2. Tua's trying to find a way.
That's right, trying to find a way. Offense wasn't easy for them either on this side of the ball, but Tua buying time and then puts the ball on the money, high and away from the defender. We get the touchdown there. That was
Jonnu Smith.
Jonnu Smith, thanks for saving me right there. I choked there.
Games. I got your back, okay?
Thank you very much. And then this was the other story of the day. Tua, turnovers, 4 interceptions, 1 strip sack fumble. This was bad. Chance to go down there and maybe tie the football game at 20-12. Throws the out route late. Derek Stingley gets the interception.
Yeah, those 4 turnovers for Tua. He had 0 in the previous 4 games, and that pretty much seals it. Derek Stingley Jr. able to celebrate with the Texans as they get the victory. They're now 9-5. That's their best start since 2019. But let's hear what Tua thought about his performance today.
very disappointed with how I played today and with how I conducted myself on the field with our guys, with our team. I just need to be better in all aspects with that.
A very honest Tua. I'm joined now by Mike Florio, and there's a scary moment in this game involving the Dolphins' 23-year-old receiver, Grant DuBose. And Mike, what is the latest?
Well, he suffered a serious head injury during the game. Maria received attention on the field for more than 10 minutes. He's in a hospital in Houston in stable condition for continued evaluation. The team says that the initial imaging tests on his head and neck are positive, but the team can't confirm anything else. For now, we're going to keep in touch with them, and we'll update everything at ProFootballTalk.com.
Yeah, we'll be following along for those updates. Thank you so much, Mike. We have an update, too, in Detroit right now as they take on the Bills. What is the latest, Sims?
Yeah, onside kick. It's 48-42. Detroit has a chance here. Taron Johnson bobbles it a little bit. There's a scrum. The ball was loose underneath for a while, but Buffalo comes away with it. They kneel it. Game over, Maria.
All right. So we got the full highlights coming. We'll tell you exactly how Josh Allen and the Bills secured that victory. But another highlight coming your way, the Colts on the road taking on the Broncos. Anthony Richardson and the Colts, they're just trying to stay alive right now in the playoff hunt. Let's go to the third quarter. A great run by Jonathan Taylor doesn't end great.
Staying alive is what they were doing. Indy was dominating the game, and right here, veteran Jonathan Taylor, you can't do this. Just run through the end zone, keep the ball. That really was the turning point in this game.
Yeah, because then later on in the quarter, we see Anthony Richardson. This pass goes out to Michael Pittman, but a fumble, so mistakes kind of mounting up for the Colts.
The very next offensive possession for the Colts, this happens. You turn the ball over. A sloppy day for them. Too many turnovers.
Okay, Broncos still down 3. Marvin Mims says, I'll take it from here.
Bo Nix is their rookie star, but today it was about the defense and the special teams. Mims, a huge punt return, gets the offense going, gets him in great field position right there, and sets up Bo Nix.
Yeah, 61-yard punt return makes you feel good. Bo Nix is like, here you go, Nate Atkins, 15-yard touchdown.
Little spin move, get in there. Atkins showed the versatility.
On the ensuing Colts possession, trying a trick play here, but it's taken away.
This play looked awesome in practice. You did it 5 times. You're like, this is what Nick Bonito said. Thank you. His second pick 6 in back-to-back weeks. Nick Bonito, I see you, man.
The Broncos outscored the Colts 24-zip after that Taylor fumble. It is time now for the All-State check-in. Chris Sims, a sloppy day for Anthony Richardson and the Colts offense.
You guys are spot on. Sloppy. Anthony Richardson, 17 for 38, 2 interceptions, too many missed easy throws. Makes a lot of wow throws. He's got a laser arm, we know that. But this just happens too much. Wide open guy, out route, misses it. And then we're seeing this off the back foot, just throw it up for grabs, interception. And then this is the other story of the day. It was only a sack, but they harassed him throughout the day. People were around him. That Denver defense is really good. Anthony Richardson's learning on the job, getting better, but not there yet, Maria.
All right, that was the All-State check-in. Denver defense pretty good. Do we agree?
You get 5 takeaways, but you get 4 in the second half, and that's what changed the game. And when teams set up a takeaway for you, and a guy fumbles going into the end zone, but they just take advantage of opportunities, and it sets up special teams, which is usually more defensive guys blocking for Mims, and that got Denver going today.
You said it earlier. This victory for Denver was about their defense and their special teams, but I want to give a little shout-out to that rookie quarterback. Interceptions early, but again, a rookie who doesn't go away when it gets hard. He hangs in there, ends up throwing 3 touchdowns, much better in the second half and later in the ball game. One thing about this guy, a lot of starts in college. He's handled everything about being a starting quarterback in the NFL really well. And again, it goes back to that mental toughness. He showed it today.
All right, with that Broncos win, some things started to change in the AFC playoff picture. That's why we call in Steve Kornacki, who can tell us everything about it.
Maria, and did the Colts toy with their fans today as we look at the final 2 wild card spots in the AFC. Look at this. If the Colts had won that game in Denver, they would have had almost a 75% chance of making the playoffs. Instead, they lose all the way down to 15%. The Broncos now in great shape. They could clinch a playoff berth next week, possibly here. And so it comes down to this. The Chargers now in that 7th and final spot with that loss today. Colts, that 15% chance. Here's here's basically what it would take for the Colts if they're going to get in now. They have the easiest schedule in the league to finish things out. Could they get to 9-8? Then they would need the Chargers to lose probably to the Broncos this coming week, and then one of their final two games. The final two games for the Chargers, it's the Raiders and the Patriots. Unless they're losing one of those, not a chance here for the Colts.
All right, thanks, Steve. And also, with that Broncos win, the Texans actually clinched the AFC South, and the Steelers clinched a berth as well. All right, let's check back in with Matthew Berry with his DraftKings Sportsbook 3-play. What you got, Matthew?
Well, Marie, I'm going to do my Berry's bet tonight, and I'm going with the Seahawks to cover 3. This line just moved to Seattle +3. It's a primetime game at home, one of the toughest places to play in the NFL. I think Seattle's home crowd is going to have a big impact. Seahawks 4-0 since coming out of their bye, and they've covered in each of those games. McDonald's defense playing at a high level. I like Seattle to cover tonight.
DraftKings Sportsbook is the #1 place to bet touchdowns, and new customers can bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if your bet wins. Download the app and use promo code SNF when you sign up.
Taking a look inside the locker rooms, Josh Jacobs just getting ready for another rushing touchdown. He's done it in 4 straight games, wants to do it again here tonight. And the quarterback of the Seahawks in his 12th season, he caught up with Tony Dungy a little bit earlier.
Well, Gino, you told me before warm-ups you're having to fight to keep your emotions under control. How you doing now?
I'm calm as ever, man. Ready for the show.
What is the big thing that you guys are going to have to do against this Packers defense?
Yeah, we got to come out, start fast, score touchdowns in the red zone, convert on third downs, protect the football.
Protect the ball. What has Coach McDonald's message been to you guys this week?
Yeah, it's our house, big game, at home. What more could you ask for, man? Sunday night, the crowd's here. It's going to be fun.
It's going to be fun. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Have a great one.
Appreciate you, Coach.
All right.
Yeah, Gina, we couldn't ask for much more either in the 4 o'clock slate of this week. We had the Great Lake Bowl and also the Pennsylvania State Championship. The 2 highlights that we haven't done, the 2 biggest games that we believe of the day. So let's run into the highlights and see what happened. Starting with the Steelers on the road taking on the Eagles. That's the Bowl of Pennsylvania. A lot of questions about Jalen Hurts and his wide receivers. What will they look like?
They got to get back on the same page.
They do, and they did.
So what do you do early? A.J. Brown, 5 catches by the beginning of the second quarter, and a little kid and play dance move right there.
A lot of harmony in Philly.
Next Eagles drive, Hurts to Devontae Smith, the Slim Reaper for a touchdown.
Yeah, Philly dominated this game, but the best thing they did is they scored early when they got down in the red zone.
And then to the second quarter we go. Russell Wilson just going to float one up, just kiss it up to Pat Freiermuth.
Yeah, that's right. Big penalty on this drive on a Justin Fields run that set up this touchdown to Pat Freiermuth. That's his go-to guy if Pickens isn't available.
Okay, remember, George Pickens out, hamstring injury. Wilson this time looking for Najee Harris.
Najee Harris drops the pitch. Philadelphia 2 turnovers early, kept Pitt alive. Then this turnover right there kind of sealed the deal for Pittsburgh as Philly went on a drive and scored after this.
Yeah, and one thing we'll never have a question about is what do you do on the goal line? You tush push.
Yeah, you go tush push. Philly physically dominated Pittsburgh in this game. Over 400 yards of offense. They won this thing handily.
Okay, so here are the numbers for Hurts, Brown, and Devontae. Has the passing improved?
Yes, it did.
Okay.
I mean, when he was open today, the ball went to him, and then, of course, we know he can make plays after.
Meanwhile, on the other side, T.J. Watt was hurt in the loss. Mike Florio, what is the latest?
Yeah, he rolled an ankle late in the game, Maria. X-rays negative. Mike Tomlin said it's a low ankle sprain, and they need him. The Steelers are 1-10 all time without T.J. Watt.
All right, thanks, Mike. The Steelers did clinch a playoff berth, even with that loss. Now the Bills taking on the Lions. Josh Allen looking as good as ever this season, okay? It doesn't stop here tonight.
No, this was big here. 14-7 early, 4th and 2. They know who they're playing. It's the kneecap biters and Dan Campbell, so they're going to go for it. Ty Johnson, big pass to keep the momentum going for Buffalo early.
They're going to take that momentum, and 3 plays later, here comes James Cook.
Yeah, Josh was incredible, but loved the balance throughout. They got down in there close. They ran the ball. Cook was the guy that took it in.
Yeah, impressive for Cook. And then we roll into the third quarter. Cook going to break through here.
He said, I'm not done yet. That speed, you can see it. James Cook breaking tackles, dominating in that secondary.
He almost got taken down by a dread. Did you see that? You don't have that problem. problem?
It's legal.
You can't even answer the question. You don't even know. Later in the third, though, Lions down 14. Jared Goff said, hold up, I got one for you.
Yeah, we thought it was going to be a shootout, back and forth, right? And it looked like it was setting up for that. But Christian Benford gets the strip of Amon-Ra St. Brown as he's going to the ground. The Bills come up with it, and we know what that means next.
There's some defense. There's some defense.
There you go. That's just Detroit's third lost fumble this season. On the ensuing Bills drive, Allen's like, let's take advantage. We got to capitalize.
Yeah, how about this play here? A little shovel pass inside to Shakir. A lot of creative ideas when they got down and then close, and they all paid off.
Yeah, no turnovers for Josh Allen, I'll tell you that. Fourth quarter, Lions down 17. Jared Goff trying to keep it alive.
Unfortunate for Jared Goff, who was awesome today. Josh Allen's just better. But another play, Detroit continue to fight and stay in this game. Jahmyr Gibbs a tough guy to tackle in space.
Okay, so on the ensuing kickoff, Lions going for the onside kick.
Why, though? It's 3 timeouts. There's 12 minutes. It's 10 points. Matt Collins says, fine, thank you. I'll take the ball and get it.
Dan Campbell said we can't stop him anyway. Just go onside.
He returns it to the 5-yard line, then Allen does the rest to Ray Davis.
You got to cash the drives in, and that's what they did all day long. So many different ways. Josh Allen was making this thing look easy.
Woo, we got a lot of points in there. That means the quarterbacks must have some pretty good numbers. Let's check them out.
Kind of good.
Not bad, Jason. How would you assess what we saw from these QBs and these offenses?
Well, Josh Allen is simply ridiculous. Think about what he's done here the last couple weeks. It's historic what he's doing. He's making the whole thing look real easy. And look at Jared Goff. He throws for almost 500 yards. We're not even talking about the guy.
No.
Yeah, something else.
Josh Allen's one of the greatest talents we've ever seen in football. He is. And this year, he's got the supporting cast around him on the offensive side of the ball, even though the defense isn't great, to carry the show like we saw today. And that's where they're different than years past.
And what I enjoyed what they did today, they were aggressive on defense early, blitzing, doing something. They say, you know what, we're going to get Josh Allen the ball.
Right.
1 or 2 extra possessions, he's going to go score.
Yeah.
And then we'll play from ahead. And that's why Detroit threw the ball 59 times.
You know, Detroit's been so good all year long. Their offense has been dominant, but we've seen it. The injuries on defense, they're just thinning out more and more and more. And so there were some gaudy numbers for Goff. They came back. The score looked okay, but Buffalo dominated this game. Real question marks with Detroit on the defensive side.
I think that Josh Allen locked up the MVP with this performance on the road in Detroit.
Don't even think about it.
I think, yes, he did. But monumental failure over the last 2 weeks, and Saquon Barkley goes off. Maybe that changes it a little bit, but he's definitely the leader.
He's not slowing down anytime soon.
That's his biggest fan.
Yeah, I know.
We've been talking about it. There's a great spirit in Buffalo, and it shows every time they go out there on Sunday.
All right, let's take a look at the AFC playoff. As you already know, the Buffalo Bills, they had clinched the AFC East, a couple games behind right now. The Chiefs, though, looking up, and we have the Pittsburgh Steelers. They did clinch a berth, even though, like we said, they got that loss. Houston Texans, they have clinched the AFC South with that 9-5 record. Meanwhile, in the NFC, Detroit, even with that loss, I know, 12-2. The Eagles looking just up at the Detroit Lions after this one.
Yeah, and the interesting thing, we talked about the Lions and home field advantage and how important that is to them.
All right, let's get to tonight's home team picks brought to you by Lowe's. America's pick, 68% of America going with the Packers here tonight. Let's see how your Football Night in America team lined up. Almost split down the middle.
Very balanced.
We're very, very balanced.
You went with your guy.
Appreciate it.
You went with McDonald. I see you, Maria.
Right. Meanwhile, Rodney and Coach Dungy, they're on opposite sides of the fence. Guys, why are you rolling with your teams?
Well, Maria, I was leaning towards Green Bay, but Jair Alexander, their best corner, is not playing. I think Geno Smith is going to be very aggressive. See a lot of 3 wide receiver sets to attack that secondary. For Green Bay, Jordan Love told me his big thing is to get Josh Jacobs involved early, run that football.
Absolutely. Josh Jacobs needs to touch the ball at least 25 times, but also getting the ball to Jaden Reed. He had no catches last week. He's a problem.
And as Geno Smith told me, both these quarterbacks need to take care of the football, so we'll see who does that best, Maria.
All right, appreciate it. They turned off the lights on y'all in Lumen Field. So back in here, Devin, why are you rolling with your squad?
I think one of the things we haven't noticed or haven't talked about is this Seattle defensive line has gotten healthy. So, yes, Josh Jacobs is a problem, but I think Seattle's defense is playing at a high level the way Mike McDonald wants.
The question for me is Seattle plays better when they run the ball, but there are some injuries in that Green Bay secondary.
Yeah, Mike McDonald will have something for him. Go Knights. Roswell, Georgia. Let's go. All right, the 9-4 Packers. They're on the road taking on the Seattle Seahawks. Huge game in the NFC playoff picture. Mike, Chris, and Melissa will have the call. And, of course, we will see you at halftime.
This has been the Hyundai Sunday Night Kickoff. Spanish language audio provided by Telemundo Deportes. Or watch tonight's game in Spanish on Universo.